increased risk of brain carcinogenesis. Oh my goodness, brain cancer, brain tumors.
So come on and jiggity check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Well, hello everyone. So today I'm going to do an in-depth dive into a subject that I'm very passionate about. So as you know, I'm a chiropractor and I practice functional medicine. Functional medicine is a branch of healthcare where any licensed doctor, whether you're an MD, DC, acupuncturist, naturopath, can get postgraduate training in finding lab results and figuring out what systems are broken or not working and doing detoxification and rebuild programs based on data. So I'm not doing funk med on you guys right now, okay? But I just want to give you some information, food for thought, so you can start looking at potential things you may be ingesting that harming you, that you didn't even know are harming you. Because, you know, I get cases where people have back pain, joint pain, sometimes they have organ issues, many times they have autoimmune stuff going on. And I start to do some investigation for their lifestyle, and I see that there's a commonality. So let's get started. I'm going to cover the topic of artificial sweeteners and what they can do to you if you are taking them in on a routine basis. So the first subject is going to be the blue stuff, aspartame. Aspartame is a neurotoxin. So its typical packet name can be Equal, or I believe it's Nutrasweet, yes. And it's a neurotoxin and excitotoxin. What does that mean? Excitotoxins basically fry the neurosynapses. That means it hurts your nervous system, so your synapses cannot send signals properly. It can cause learning disorders such as ADHD, migraine headaches, regular headaches, seizure. Let's take a moment and do a little side trip here. One of my dear friends, when I was going to college, brilliant architect, and she started to have grand mal seizures. She couldn't understand for the life of her why. She went to every single doctor imaginable to figure out why she was getting these seizures. She didn't have a seizure or epileptic history in her family. So she eventually ended up going to the Mayo Clinic. They did all sorts of tests and for 4 days found nothing. On the 4th day when she was leaving, she went to the vending machine, put in some money for a Diet Coke, grand mal seizure. The heck? Why did that happen? Well, guess what Diet Coke is sweetened with? Aspartame. It's a neurotoxin. It can affect your brain function and your synapses. It can also cause irritable moods, anxiety, depression, sleep disorders like insomnia, dementia, and Alzheimer's, to name a few things. So I want you to be cautious when you're taking in aspartame, the blue packet, because it can harm your nervous system and cause a lot of diseases you didn't know that it was linked to you taking in Diet Coke, chewing gum, any diet products. Read your labels. Do not take in aspartame. It is bad for your health. Okay, the next artificial sweetener on my list for you guys to learn about is the yellow packet, Sucralose, also known as Splenda. Splenda is in everything. Why is it bad for you? Well, a little history behind Splenda. It was a chemical compound in the UK they were doing research on. Initially started out as an insecticide.
What?
No joke. And the scientists were asked to test each batch. Scientists that got the note to test each batch heard taste each batch. And he was like, wow, this is extra sweet. So he reported back to the powers that be and said, this actually can be an artificial sweetener. So everybody started using it, saying it was the end all be all, because we all know that the aspartame can cause brain damage and, you know, lupus and sclerosis and multiple sclerosis and organ issues. So they're like, let's switch it over. But this stuff has its damning effects on the human body as well. It's known to be linked with causing, not preventing, causing diabetes, weight gain, So you would think an artificial sweetener would help you to lose weight. No, it actually has been linked in studies to show that it actually makes you gain weight. Leaky gut syndrome, why is that bad? Well, if your gut has tiny little fissures, it cannot absorb nutrients from what you ingest. So you are basically having no nutrient value when you eat food. It may generate toxic carcinogenic compounds when heated. A lot of people bake with it because they don't want the calories, but it releases cancer-causing compounds in heat. So don't put it in your coffee. A lot of people, when you go out to breakfast, people are, tearing away the yellow packet and putting it in their coffee cups. Ooh, that stuff is so bad for you. It also causes liver toxicity. Why is that bad? Well, your liver is kind of an important organ. Liver is where cholesterol is made, good and bad. You can harm your liver by taking too much Splenda in. And lastly, it causes increased inflammation. Why is that bad? Because inflammation is at the crux cellularly of disease. So do yourself a favor. Just say no. All right. The next artificial sweetener that I got a bone to pick with, the pink packet, Saccharine, brand name Sweet and Low. Why is that bad? Well, it's a carcinogenic compound. Yeah, it can cause cancer. It also increases your risk of obesity, diabetes, liver and renal impairment. Kidney and liver impairment is no joke. You need both those organs to be healthy to have a good, healthy life. Increased risk of brain carcinogenesis. Oh my goodness, brain cancer, brain tumors. Folks, it's a no-brainer. Just say no to the pink stuff. Okay, so I'm going to give you a name that you probably can't pronounce. So I'm going to show you here. It's the A word. It's called Accessiflame, also known as ACE-K. So it's a synthetic compound with some potassium salts. Why am I bringing this subject up to you? Well, guess what? Accessiflame is in so many foods we eat on a regular basis. You probably don't know, but if you're a gum chewer, you probably have Accessiflame in there, especially if it's sugar-free gum. So then sometimes people are like, I got a headache today. I don't know why I got a headache today. Well, if you chew gum a lot and has Accessiflame in it, that's the reason why. It's the culprit for your headache. It's chemical poisoning to your system. It also can be linked to depression, nausea, mental confusion, toxic liver effects, kidney effects, visual disturbances. Yes, visual disturbances linked to cancer, metabolic syndrome. What is that? It's when you have heart disease, diabetes, and inflammation. This is bad stuff. It is also linked to obesity, and it causes microbiome disturbances such as leaky gut. So, I'm going over a lot of different artificial sweeteners today, and you're going to see a common thread of symptoms and negative effects it causes on the body. I don't know why people call it side effects. It's an effect. It's a legit bad effect on the body. So, read your labels. Don't take in Accessiflame. It is a synthetic poison to your body and your brain. Let's talk about the nemesis to human health. I'm talking, this is such a innocuous, people go, yeah, but it tastes good, so I'm gonna eat more of it, and I'll deal with the consequences. But I want you to know something. Sugar, refined sugar, is your mortal enemy. This is linked to so many diseases pertaining to man, or woman, or child, or grandmother, grandfather. You know what I'm saying? If you are of the human DNA, this stuff can kill you literally, but you just eat it like it's no problem. I'm not saying you in general, I'm not diagnosing you. I'm just saying people in general eat this like it's going out of style. Sugar's compound name is Sucralose. It's linked to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high inflammation, weight issues or obesity, diabetes, fatty liver disease, increased risk of heart attack and stroke, metabolic syndrome, there it is again, cognitive dysfunction, that means memory issues or learning issues, skin disorders, chronic pain, joint issues, mood disorders. It's poison. Sugar, eat as little of it as you can. Refined sugar causes a whole lot of body problems that you didn't know it was linked to sugar. I hope this is making some kind of impression or impact on the way you look at sugar and other artificial sweeteners that can cause body disease and symptoms. So now I want to talk about some possible alternatives to the bad stuff. But I'm going to say something to you that you may not want to hear. So one of the end-all be-all alternatives to the bad stuff was xylitol. This is a wood grain alcohol. And a little of it is okay, but I have seen the research where there's some bad stuff that can happen if you have too much of it. I have a personal story about xylitol. So I wanted to, not have sugar-free gum filled with Accessiflame or Aspartame or Sucralose. So I was like, you know what? Let me check out xylitol. I think it's safe. So I started chewing a lot of spry gum. I know some of you are gum chewers too, and you probably have chewed spry gum. So I started to have, no joke, memory issues. And I'm like sharp as a tack. For those of you who know me, you know me, right? So when I started to not remember what I had for lunch yesterday, I was like, there's an issue. What am I doing differently? I'm like, oh my God, I'm chewing a bunch of that spry gum. So I stopped. After about a week, memory started coming back. There's a direct correlation with brain function and xylitol. It's wood grain alcohol. It's linked to causing depression sometimes. So if you have mood issues or if you're dealing with memory issues, it's also known to give you gas, flatulence, bloating. Who wants to sign up for that? Just to have some chomping, right? So it can cause diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, kidney issues, headaches, skin problems. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So I would say, to be safe, stay away from xylitol as well. It's not the end-all be-all, and it's not the safest thing for you to do. Okay, now I'm going to talk about something that I take in every day. I think it tastes pretty good. Stevia, or stevia, however you want to pronounce it, potato, okay? But it's a natural extract, but beware, you can also be having a processed chemical stevia. You don't want that. So brand names for the processed stevia would be Truvia or Pruvia that I've come across. I don't recommend that. Again, I had a personal situation where when I started taking some Truvia, I started getting some eczema. I was like, what the heck? Stop taking the Truvia, eczema gone. So it can cause an allergic reaction in the body. So if you're going to take in stevia, it's natural sweet leaf. It's from a plant. It's 200 to 300 times sweeter than natural sugar. So they make it in extract form, in liquid, or powder form. Get the organic stuff because it can do you good without having bad, harmful effects. I'm just sharing my own personal experience on the different things. So let's recap. Xylitol can give you a lot of gas and tummy aches, diarrhea, possibly some depression, some not so good mood issues. Sugar is linked to a whole lot of blood pressure, inflammation diseases, increased risk for heart attack, metabolic syndrome, cognitive dysfunction, pain disorders, chronic pain. So just stay away from the sugar as much as you can. Accessiflame, not your friend, okay? It's in gum, it's in protein powders, it's in diet and light stuff. They use a lot of Accessiflame in I believe energy drinks. So this can affect your mood. If you're one downing those energy drinks, this could be a reason why you are feeling really down or really anxious. So just be aware and drink water. That's your friend. Saccharine, cancer, no bueno. Sucralose, Splenda, cancer, liver toxicity, renal toxicity, increased inflammation, weight gain. The blue stuff, aspartame, Nutrasweet, or Equal, this is the nastiest one of them all. I would definitely stay away from aspartame. But here's the interesting thing. I love working out. I love, having a good protein drink. As I was doing my research, I would say 95% of the protein powders out there, they're supposed to be for, fitness and health, have sucralose as a sweetener. What the heck? So, I'm not getting paid to say this, but a very safe brand out there that's organic is Garden of Life. Garden of Life is a great company. It's an organic company. and they make a good plant-based protein powder, chocolate vanilla, and they also make a good grass-fed whey protein powder. So I'm a fan of that company because it tastes good and they sweeten their stuff with stevia. And so it has safe products for your body to digest and process. So stevia is a good alternative, or raw honey is a good alternative. I hope the segment brought some light to what you didn't realize about artificial sweeteners in your food. Please read your labels and see how much of it you're taking in. I know you can't live life perfectly, but being aware, you can make better decisions for the long term, so that you have the least amount of chemical poisoning in your system causing bad symptoms you thought were from other things. Okay? So have a great rest of the day. I'll see you on the next one.